Alright, y'all, welcome back to another edition of the Cozy Podcast. Here are my co-hosts, Messiah. Today, we got two special guests on the podcast. My homeboy Derrick, my man's OJ right here, you feel me? So, to start it off, let the people know a little bit about yourself, you feel me, what y'all get into and everything.
You go first. Alright. So, as he said, Derrick, I be drawing, and what I be doing with that is, doing some media stuff with my brand, my company, with my homies, Truniverse. Be putting together shows and shit, but it's, more than that, also like comics and, production. So I be in the film and, cartoons, entertainment, music. So colliding all that together, that's pretty much what I do.
Yes, sir. I'm OJ Neon, also known as the Greatest. I am an artist and innovator, and right now I'm focused on music and rap, mix, produce, all that stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at with it right now.
Word. So, how y'all been as of late, you feel me?
I've been good, bro. Not too bad. My mental, be having ups and downs, but for the most part, I've been straight. Ain't been nothing too crazy. I wouldn't, a lot of outside stuff don't affect me as much no more. So I kind of just be not even really in my own bubble, but the people I be around, type shit, like that's the energy I mainly be focusing on.
Feel me? Word.
Yeah, I would say I'm doing pretty well. Like, been working a lot, trying to save my money because I'm getting ready to move to a new spot to be able to focus on the music more. Graduating soon. But everything been cool though, like been able to be really positive about stuff, and it's always good to find like that point where you can be kind of calm and still have peace of mind when you're working a lot. Or it can get rough at times, but just being able to find that peace is always good. So I'm in a good place right now.
Sean, gonna say, how about y'all?
Oh man, I've been well. Same thing. I really feel like since 22 is the master number that took and everything I had that y'all just saying, and when we ask other people the same thing, everybody focus on just getting themselves up now, just making sure they got their mind right, and it's like our age group, we're around the ages of 22 and 23, so it's all the same shit. Like we all we all finding our way,
Right.
and just working on that balance, really. Because I don't want to say trying, because we are doing it. So and that's the main thing, and just not trying to, but just getting more income and getting ourselves out there more so that we all can be able to do what we see ourselves doing. And I feel like right now is the best time, came back down here because people see something in us, you know what I'm saying, and they want, like y'all, they, you know what I'm saying, appreciate it. They supporting us and they want to get on it, and they got a lot to say, and they helping us grow as well, and whatever y'all have going on, people going to see it and help y'all grow as well. So we all just helping each other get to where we need to be. And I don't know, it ain't really about personal gain for real, because I be having fun when we do this, because we get to talk about different topics, and I feel like certain people be wanting to have certain topics, but they don't be having the right people around them to have
Those types
certain
of conversations.
Right. So like when they get around us and they see that we already have an open mind to certain situations, they feel more comfortable getting open about what they've been having going on, or, you know what I'm saying, knowing that ain't nobody gonna judge them about seeing the world from a different lens or anything like that. So it'd be cool. And just to be able to travel, you know what I'm saying, the dopamine rush and the whole just experience you get, just constantly coming back and forth, it make life worth living through all the extra nonsense that be going on a regular day basis. So, and it's cool coming down here and like seeing genuine respect that people be having for us, even though we got our own lives all the way back up north. It's cool seeing people still keep in contact, still, you know what I'm saying, joke around with us or whatever, hit us to see how we doing and everything, but when we do come down here, show us mad love and respect. So, you know what I'm saying, make life worth living too, because it make us know like, damn, you know what I'm saying, people remember me, and you know what I mean. People just be thinking about me. It boosts how you feel about as a human. So
Ever since the first time, bro. For both y'all, for real. Like, I remember that shit, bro.
Yeah, so that's what really made me have fun while doing the podcast too, and people can just, you know what I'm saying, help themselves be able to articulate how they feel. And I feel like everybody who get on here, everything they want to do involves another person. So I like right now, us even doing the podcast in these little locations where we do them and everything, it's helping all of us be able to just be able to speak better and working on our speech and be able to open ourselves up more and all that. This right here is training, so when we get to where we need to be, we don't feel nervous to get them little butterflies or whatever, because we're so used to talking about certain stuff on camera when it was rarely people watching. And you know what I'm saying, the more we grow, it's already going to be easier to do certain things. You know, it'd be like the same when an artist go to a show. You know what I mean? The first show they might do might be 200 people on some, you know what I'm saying, out of the blue, and they just get nervous and don't know really how to control the crowd and everything like that.
Right.
You know, so I feel like this is all training right here, so that when it's a bigger audience, we already know how to move the crowd and move around it and everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like, y'all been doing it for a minute, so I'm like, just learning more, bro, and figuring like, you know, being prepared and things like that, and just also it just flows easier now because you know y'all used to it.
Yeah, I was about to ask y'all how that shit work with the shows, like, 'cause I know it'd be the same type of time.
Nah, definitely. Like the first show, I was just nervous, bro. Like just as far as turnout goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even like the first three for real. Like you can ask him like just when it comes to just you know preparing everything and making decisions based off of you know how we should promote or just how the lineup should be and things like that. All that shit would just be like it was nervous for me, and you know I'm not a person who really be wanting to like be in the spotlight, so like setting it up and kind of be in the back and like maybe perform because I be working on music, but like that's not really my main focus. So it's like, but even though it's my event, you know, I still gotta like host, like be on the mic, shit like that. So that's been getting a little easier, you know, even though I'm a people person. It's just not something I'm used to. You know, I've done things in front of crowds, play sports, things like that, but that's always been something I always get butterflies and nervous about. So it's cool to see the growth within myself from doing this. So that's definitely something I appreciate about the process.
You want to say right here, bro?
Enter Aaron.
As far as like setting the first shows, it was real hectic because like I remember when he first came to me with the idea and everything, and it was just like, dang, like I remember always talking about it. It's like, yeah, like probably to get it figured out like a year or two, and it's like, nah, like we just talked about that 2 weeks ago. Like this was like a month ago conversation, and it just all of a sudden started happening. And so it was crazy to see how quick things can develop, and then to see where we get into now is like it's unlimited. You know what I mean? Like I can literally see where this can go. It's crazy.
Yeah, yo, I was gonna say, yeah, you can introduce yourself.
Yo, what's good? Aaron Black, 888, whole lot of gang, whole lot of peace, whole lot of love.
Tell
Yeah,
me what you do.
I'm an artist. You know, I rap, sing, play guitar. I be doing everything, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. You feel me? And we be rocking out. And yeah, whole lot of gang, you know, whole lot of Truniverse, whole lot of love.
So, what is Truniverse to y'all?
I'm gonna let y'all go first.
You just came in. Go
You
ahead.
just came
I
in
gotta
with
go.
Truniverse.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you gotta speak. You gotta speak.
That's crazy. Truniverse is like an artist family. You feel me? Like a whole pod of creatives. You know, as quote unquote weirdos. You know what I mean? Like, but niggas just who accepted each other for who they were and the art that they create, and then we banded together to help it, you know, get shown to other people, and have other people hear it and fall in love with it and be appreciative of it. You know,
How
Truniverse.
long you been making music though?
I've been making music for I ain't gonna say professionally, but for real, like probably like a year and a half. You feel me? But like I've been rapping and stuff on and off my whole life. Like you feel me? You know how niggas be hotboxing in the car and turning on the freestyle, you know, kick a little 1-2. Yeah, so niggas is just doing that. So like all through high school and stuff, I was rapping. But I really started taking it serious like this year.
How come you just started taking it serious?
I mean, I just like got in a position to take it serious. You know what I mean? Like to get the production and quality at a high. You feel me?
I feel like it has to do with like the age thing, like turning 22, 21, 23 is like they say that's the ages you start figuring yourself out. So, you know, some people I feel like if you doing music right and you putting it out at an early age, you still might not be taking it serious. People could just discover it, find it, and it could just blow up type shit. But you're not really gonna take it serious until either that happens or you reach the age where it's like, you know, I want to make something out of this, so I just want to put more effort into it, more thought, more love into it. Type shit.
Like when I said like take it serious, I meant more intentional. You feel me? Like you actually want to put something of substance behind what you're saying and what you're doing, and how you making people feel, how you make yourself feel and stuff. So like it's just like I guess music maturity type shit.
Yeah.
Word.
What about you?
I'll describe Truniverse as artists, rappers, innovators, creators coming together to achieve a common goal with their individuality and what we're doing. So it seems like everybody's able to bring something special and something different to the table in some sort of way. From what I've been able to see, we got a lot of artists who have a lot of individuality, a lot of potential. People really do can feel the energy of what we got building up, and it's great to be a part of it, really. And also like a challenge, being able to hear other people. I'm competitive, it's just in my nature, and so everything to me is motivation. So it's like it's always cool to feel like somebody might be better than the other, and you know you want to prove something to yourself and to other people. So it's great.
Shit. How long you been making music?
So like I wrote poetry since I was like 10, so like 5th grade. And I remember I wrote like my first rap when I was 6, and I showed it to my dad, and he was like, it was corny. And like I remember what it was. It was like I was walking down the streets when Man Switch Beats, chilling with Terrell Suggs. He got bit by a bug. It left a big bump right on his rump. Now I was like 6, 7, so it was corny. But you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. So like after that, I didn't write, and then I made poetry. I started writing poetry when I was 10, and after that, I didn't start rapping until I met him and our friend Saint Amani, God rest. And yeah, that was my freshman year of college, so I was 18. And then we started freestyling, and since then I just started making music. And so I would say that's been 5 years now. So yeah.
Man.
Crazy. But Truniverse of how I initially started it, right? Like where my mind was at was I thought of it actually here at A&T freshman year or sophomore year. And it wasn't really nothing. I was just thinking of a name for, you know, a collective per se. I didn't really have everything intact of what I wanted. But when I did, it was just, you know, staying true to you, yourself, you know, and they say, you know, everybody got their own truths, but I would say there's a universal truth, but besides that, just you, yourself, you know, you have your own world type shit, right? Your own universe. So just, you know, true and you, truth, things like that. That's how the name came about. And then just wanting to provide like a space for a bunch of people to come together on some like, cause I fuck with Toonami, right? Toonami, that's, you know, on Adult Swim, for those who don't know, Cartoon Network. And they showcase a lot of anime and stuff, and Adult Swim or Cartoon Network essentially got a bunch of different stuff, right? You know, they put Lord Squad on there, which, you know, that's Tyler and Our Future, you feel me? So they branch off into a lot of things, and that's how I view myself, you know, just into a whole bunch of entertainment stuff. So I luckily ran into a bunch of people. Well, not even luckily, but I'm blessed to have come across a bunch of people who share common interests and are open to to the other things and welcome being introduced to different things. You feel me? So that's pretty much what it means to me. Family for real. And everybody's genuine so far. And I know most of the people in it for half my life, most of my life. Some I just met, but I feel like I've known it for my whole life.
So, what motivates y'all to keep on going, despite like other people's doubts and stuff that may come in the way?
Honestly, I feel like this is just something that I love to do, and so it's more so I do it because I feel like I have to give myself something to live for, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like I just love creativity. Like I gotta be able to put whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm thinking, whatever it is, put it on paper, painting, whatever it is. I just love to be able to express myself in ways that sometimes it's words, sometimes it's pictures, sometimes it's paint. Sometimes it can just be how I view things and how I might want to place certain things on top of another. Like even setting up a room, like I just love being able to create things and put things together.
And I say wanting to see everything come to fruition. You feel me? Not stopping something that we started. You feel me? After so many people have been invested into it, so it's like if I stop, that's a disservice to myself and other people. So
that's how I felt with the code and shit. Cause like it definitely has been times where I was like, I could just like stop or just chill. But it's like every time I would have that thought, there would be somebody that would tell me, oh, like when you gonna come out with clothes, or when you gonna do this, when you gonna do that. So it's like, I don't know, other people that's around me that really, genuinely support you at the end of the day is what really matters. Because, the fact that they see something in you that, you don't see in yourself on an everyday basis means a lot for me.
Yeah.
100%.
What about you, bro?
What motivates me? I hate to say this like this, but like I guess the reaction of like seeing people love what you love created, you feel me? Like and seeing what it does for people. They say like music is like the universal language. So when people feel you, you feel me, and you make them like, relate to you, it just feels great,
Yeah.
And then doing that shit with the niggas you feel you fuck with, that shit great too, bro. Like it's like I fuck with creation of it too. Like the just creating lights a fire under me for real.
So what is it about certain tunes and certain melodies that triggers y'all to have that creative spark and really like go all the way through with it? Because I know you guys may create beats and then it's like I don't know if that's the one, but then sometimes it probably from the beginning you feel like that's that one. You feel me? So what is it about certain melodies and the process of it all?
Ooh. Well, my perspective on music is different, because like I was teaching myself how to play guitar and shit. So like I understand like color and feel. You feel me? That's why they call it the blues. You feel me? That's that soul and shit. So it's like I really listen to whatever the beat is. You feel me? Whatever vibe it is trying to tell you to get off on, and then you get off on it. You feel me? Like whether it be some hard bob your head shit. You feel me? Or some vibey, slow, groovy something. You feel me? It's all in the pocket and the feel of it. And that's like how you tell what's that one, you feel me? And that shit gets you moving.
Yeah. I'd also say patterns, right? As far as like instrumental patterns, beat patterns, like the drums and the guitar strings, shit like that. Like if it's in a certain pattern and I can get in a certain pocket with it, then I'll be like, yeah, this the one.
That's that
but
one.
Definitely over time you're gonna hear some people gonna use the same drum patterns and things like that, and then it'll feel kind of played out. So then those are the ones I'll be like, nah, I ain't really trying to rap on that. Like it could be a good beat, but it's not hitting me how I need it to hit me. So
yeah, especially like that 808 is bad oversaturated. Everybody uses
What about you?
Well, like I started off as a writer, so sometimes I'll write something and I'll think of a beat that may come with it or something like that. And just based upon my music taste, like I listen to artists in like different genres and streams. So for example, I found out about MF Doom like a week ago. I might listen to MF Doom and look at other people that are related to MF Doom, like Czarface, and then listen to them for like 2 weeks. And it's like, all right, I'm off of that. And I'll move on to something like Upper Class, which is a house band, and I'll listen to them and just listen to all the stuff they got. And then I'll switch over to something else. And so, like, sometimes I'll just write something, I'll think of a beat. Other times I'll try to look for certain things I've heard in other music, and then I'll look for a little detail and I'll dinosaur bone it to like turn into something else that I like, or something else that I could hear, and things like that.
Yeah. So, what artists in particular? I know you just named a few. I don't know if those are artists that inspired you personally, but like, what artists, or not even just artists, you know, people in general have inspired y'all to, you know, pursue the lanes that you guys are in right now?
I'll just take that one.
As far as, well, I'll start with this. So when it came to like role models in school, right? You know, high school or middle school, even they'd be like, you know, write out some role models type shit. So generally, at first, at the start, it was always my pops. I looked up to my older brother and Ray Allen for the most part. Ray Allen, you know, that's my guy. But when it came to basketball, I was a big basketball head, and I say them three mainly carried themselves in ways of like, you know, it was on some manly stuff, you feel me? And just the way they also, like, their music taste, I definitely see in myself, you feel me? So the songs that they would play and shit like that, I see in myself, and like the sounds and things like that. So both of them listen to like lyrical rappers, and it's not even not on no, you know, crazy shit, but even storytelling, right? They mainly like storytellers and, you know, hard beats. So, you know, I be listening to people who be telling stories. So like Bodie James, I found him recently, but as far as people that, you know, like influenced me and things like that, it's definitely Dizzy Wright. I was a big Sean fan.
Me too.
Kendrick early on, Cole, and then just branching off to people that they do features with and things like that. You know, I got a few friends that also listen to similar music, so they put me on people. I'd be like, I ain't never heard of them. So like Montana 300, one of my homies put me on in gym class, and instantly, like he got bars, so instantly that's what I was attracted to. And then, you know, the quality of music, it didn't really matter to me that much because I fucked with him as a person first, and then after that, that's when the music stuff comes. So if I say I don't like a rapper, it's mainly because I might not know them personally, but just basing it off of what I see, what they choose to show people, character and stuff. I'd be like, I might not listen to them for real, even if they are good.
I feel makes sense.
Yeah. So, man, I do believe you could, right? Well, first, like, I used to be like, nah, for real. But I kind of been giving some people a chance, and it'd be like, I still recognize it as good, but still, like, to an extent, because at the end of the day, like, that's that person's art, like, it's coming from them, you know, as an individual, you know, the way they think, act, look at life, shit like that. So it might be dependent on, you know, what it is particularly they saying, and then also off of sound, like we was talking about earlier, like the sounds and things like that. Certain sounds of beats I don't really like. So
It's the frequencies, man.
frequencies, that's what I'm saying. So certain frequencies and hers and shit like that I don't really like, and it could be they might know about it, they might not know about it.
So let's talk about that for a little bit. Like, how y'all feel about the certain frequencies and shit? Because I know since y'all partake in music, y'all probably study music and how certain frequencies and shit like that affect people. So like, how does that play a part in the type of music that you guys make?
Oh,
I know when, so like bouncing out a song, that's like transitioning it from, you know, the structure that you make it in, bones and things like that, to like an audio file, wave, things like that. So I know when you be bouncing out songs and things like that, it's a particular hertz number, which is like speed, right?
Nah,
Like,
it's frequency.
Frequency. Well, I
it's
know
like-
BPM is speed.
Yeah, BPM
But-
is speed.
I know in the industry, for mainstream, it's a certain speed and it's a certain hertz frequency.
Yeah.
So those I really, you know, trying to stay away from because it's not the most positive, not the best feeling. You know, I've heard it and felt it off of, you know, while tripping before, you know, so I could feel it more.
We heard what exactly?
Like,
The beats per minute and shit?
yeah, the beats per minute and like the frequency. So while tripping, it'll give me a certain feel
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
certain images and thoughts and shit like that. Certain thoughts I want to be wanting and shit like that and feel a certain way. So when I had those experiences, when I know I hear a beat like that, things like that, I'll be like, I might not feel like listening to that right now. Sometimes
okay.
it'll be like, alright, cause I do kind of fuck with it, and that's essentially what I was raised on to an extent,
Yeah,
was
yeah,
mainstream music more than underground music. So it'd be alright sometimes, but I tend to not really listen to it.
More.
Honestly, I'm an engineer too, you feel me? So I be behind the motherfucking Pro Tools, you know, looking at how to set stuff up. I tune my guitar to like 432 hertz instead of 440, you feel me? Because that's like industry standard. It doesn't do much, but
It's
it
like
does a lot.
healing though, right?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
healing.
You feel me? Like people won't really hear the difference. You feel me? But like it feel better. You feel me? Cause like niggas don't know that like certain frequencies like make you feel a specific way. You feel me? Undertone. You feel me? And the music you play, especially stuff that's on the radio and shit, you know, that's
Like
all in 440 and it's all negative 808. That's why I like the 808s. It's cool, you feel me? But it's really like it carry a negative vibration. Right? Like,
So I think, well, I know Kanye said, well, I know it's more so like the root chakra, right? But the type of energy people put out on the 808s is negative.
Definitely.
So it makes it more negative. You could say some positive shit on the 808 and it'll be, you know, make your root chakra, you know, more in that sense and shit like that.
Okay. I was gonna say, so like, so you were saying that 432 is the tune
it's the
that's
healing frequency.
yeah, and 440 is what they used in.
That's industry standard.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's what I have found out too. I just always tried to find out what exactly do they do with the frequency, like what's going on behind the scenes where you can turn it up like
Well,
that.
I mean, you can change the frequency of like the auto tune that comes in on people's voice.
Oh,
You
okay,
can-
so
you
they
can, you can
just
change specific stuff. You can change the beat. You can transfer the beat into like that shit all on Google. You feel me? Like you can transfer it to a certain frequency. They have like actually this thing out here where you can listen to like your same songs that you listen to, but in 432 hertz.
Oh yeah, they got apps and shit.
Yeah,
for
they got
that.
apps and they got it on YouTube too. It's just,
Like
Okay.
X said, bro, it's true. He can, if he wants you to go into a meditative state, you can do that.
you can really do that.
Like there are songs that'll make you just be in a loop type
Yeah.
shit, be in a loop, or just you might feel anxious, or you could just feel joyful. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like, whatever.
I started to tap in with myself and I can now like certain things know when I'm getting triggered to feel a certain type of way. So I can see something on TV and it can trigger me and you know what I'm saying, I'll be like, okay, so this why, for example, I might want to eat right now. Or this why, you know what I'm saying, I might want to listen to this type of music. Because, you know, and sometimes you can feel it in your head, you can feel the rush, the dopamine rush in your brain, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I be knowing like when I be needed to relax off of certain things or anything like that, you know.
You know, bro? I recently just found out like that too much of anything
It's not good.
it's not right. You feel me? And like what you intake, you feel me? Like through your ears, food, all that shit, it fuck with your body, you feel me? So it's like I've been watching what I listen to. Like I don't listen to the trap and shit, all that, fuck that. I mean, I listen to it from like the club, you know, when it's set, right? You know, it's other places, but like, I really watch what I put in my head because it's stuff that make you think a certain way. I be trying to watch what I put in my body, you know, because it's stuff that make you feel a certain way. You know what I mean? So,
I was listening to straight rap, trap music for mad long, bruh.
but it's nothing wrong with it. It's just like,
but like nothing else though. I feel like you can listen to anything,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
don't listen to one thing just all the time.
Yeah, broaden your horizons.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
It
so-
definitely needs to be a balance because, like you were saying about, like y'all been saying, what you listen to, not even listening to that type of music, it might not make you can have control over yourself to not go do whatever they talking about, but it's just, it might have, or not even might, it's gonna have some type of influence over the way you feel or how you view certain situations, and just, you know what I'm saying, how you might react in whatever situation that you get yourself involved in. And just simple life is gonna start putting you in certain situations based off of what you're listening to, because now subconsciously you viewing that as a positive. So you know what I'm saying, you thinking this, that, and the third is a positive, so subconscious is recognizing that as a success to you instead of a failure. So now your life is going to revolve around certain situations in regards to that, just from the music that you listen to. So it is
it's
a deep
deep.
topic. It is, but
It's caught up in loops, bro.
Right.
What's up?
So I look at music like the whole like, you know, realm of music, right? As, you know, yin yang, right? So you got some artists that make straight this type of music, you got some artists that make this type of music. But, you know, each of them artists, if they decide to, you know, go to both sides of themselves, then it kind of just balances everything out, keeps it even. So it's like, shit. So like when Lil Baby made that one song, like, you know, for the people type shit, like,
big in black and white.
yeah, protester type shit. It was like, it was cool, but I was I ain't gonna lie though. At first I was kind of like, man, like it's whatever, because there's niggas that been making this type of music. So it's like, essentially, stay in your lane, but I ain't gonna be mad you trying to do that shit. Like, I get it. If that's really a true side to you, you feel me?
Yeah, I know.
But yeah,
It's nah, I know exactly what you mean, because that's why certain people can't take that type of shit serious when it come out, and it'll fuck up the whole thing. Because it's like,
facts, bro.
who they choose to have represent us as black people when it comes to political shit is like a mockery. Because why, out of all people, is Lil Baby the one that was meeting with Kamala Harris and all of that shit to show face for black people type shit. So it's just little shit that, you know, fuck up the whole mindset of how people support these movements and just everything that go on around it, you feel me? So like, I get exactly what you mean, bro. I don't know. Back in the 60s and 70s, like when niggas like Marvin Gaye was making music during Vietnam and shit like that, it was a whole different feel, because like, for one, we as people didn't know that these artists were as exploited out, you feel me? And two, like they were making music from the soul, you feel me? So it's like,
yeah, that's one thing
people,
I can say.
yeah, people were actually like, you know, feeling that shit, you feel me? Versus just, now they got rappers representing us. Not to say that rappers can't, you feel me, put out a positive message, but it's like, at the end of the day, like, the media and the entertainment industry know what they do when they put certain people in these certain places to have represent us, you feel me?
And I was gonna say, like, although you could say like all the artists or majority of the artists that deals with Hollywood are quote unquote exploited, I feel like at least the artists back in the day, whether they were exploited or not, at least the agenda that they were working for, at least it was helping, you know what I'm saying, black folk open their eyes to, you know what I'm saying, more things than just be stuck and be so low. Like he's saying about Marvin Gaye making music about the brothers that was in Vietnam, you know what I'm saying? Whether or not people say he did this, he did that, at least the music he came out with was helping niggas feel a little bit better. So even if they were in Vietnam listening to him, they feel a little bit better while they're in that jam, rather than today in this day and
it's
age.
more pleasure and
we
fun.
listening to fucking bullshit when there's real shit going on. But at the same time, I do feel like the artists we got today that make that ignorant music is needed so that people know what's really going on. Because let's say everybody was just making type of music they was making in the 60s and 70s or whatever, while hella mayhem going on.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be real, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So now people get a chance to really know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like you got this music if you quote unquote conscious, and
Mhm.
if you an ignorant nigga, you can listen to this type of music.
Right.
You know, they got lanes
Yeah,
nowadays. They got
yeah.
lanes for everything.
Yeah.
Back then, it was everybody. Pimps was listening to this. You was raping people. You listen to this. It was you know what I'm saying. Now
Right.
today you can tell. Oh, this person listened to this type of music, and I feel like that's necessary too, because then you get a chance to see what other people be thinking about too. You know what I'm saying, and it help you be able to differentiate and help you see what type of person you really are, because you can really tell what type of tune a person listen to if you sit down and have a conversation with them and just
Right,
see how they
exactly.
be moving and all. You can tell like, oh, you've been influenced by this type of music. Like I was saying to you, when I was in 8th grade, I was influenced by those Chicago artists. So all of that stuff that you will see people doing now, or that you see grown folks doing now, being so entertained by all that, I was 12, 13 years old, already trying to figure out what's going on the other side of America. Why is their music like this and everybody else is still making regular music? And then now, 10 years later, you see everybody in 50 states down there making drill music. But 10 years ago, it was only this select few of people in the world making it. So I was intrigued by that. So I was like, I want to be different like them too. So I was following the trend around that time. Then when I got older, I got to sit back and say, God damn, that music do a lot to you. Because, you know what I'm saying, I was faking like I was drinking lean. I was faking like I was doing all of that foolishness just by the music I was listening to, because I wanted to be different. You know what I'm saying? Because the music that you listen to really mold you. Because you feel like you connect, it's something subconsciously connect you to that music. So, you know what I'm saying, now you're feeling like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I'm saying? And the music is a source for who you are, you know, it's just, you know
Because
how
you're
it
listening
is.
to it, and that's a
it's molding
person.
you, word.
That's
Yeah,
a person,
so-
like a real person,
Yeah, that's
and they
what I'm
art
saying.
type shit. You feel me? Like that's them
Real person.
speaking. If you listening to them on a daily basis, like you hear talking to the nigga every day type shit.
Yeah,
And that's
So-
why I be feeling a little bit off about listening to like post-humanist albums and shit like that. Because
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
Nah,
person
no
gone,
cap.
and it's like, I don't know.
Nah, I feel you. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird sometimes. It's like how you keep putting out more music when I don't really know how much work they put into that versus
Right.
what you're putting out right now.
Exactly.
It could have been in the earliest of stages, and then y'all just, just.
I wanted to
So-
talk to you about the whole shows stuff. So how you go about putting the shows together.
Right. So essentially, so there's been a few people, bro, that be hitting me up. Some just quality don't be up to par. Some essentially what they rapping, I'd be like, that's not like I said the
The
sound,
that
agenda,
y'all
aesthetic that I
going
want
for.
to push. You feel me? So most of the time, like if I know you, then I might make that exception. I ain't gonna lie, I might make that exception. But if I don't, then it'll be like nah, or I won't have too much of it. You feel me? So I had some of it just a sense like getting niggas turned up, but it kind of, if you have a lot of that, like
for the
gun talk type shit, a whole bunch of violent shit, bro, then and you got niggas in there that kind of be on that type of time, then it might just
Yeah, I'm
build
already
this shit
knowing.
up.
It
So-
do. That should affect the whole flow of how everything going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You in the
100%.
party with too much of that type of music, you can feel the energy sway to a certain type. So now, by default, you got to make sure that you on timing and you know what's going on just by the music that's playing in the party.
Right.
A lot of people don't look at it like that, but that's the reality of it, because you know what I'm saying. If you go in the club and they playing Miley Cyrus, you know ain't no bullshit about to happen in there.
Hell no.
But you know if you walk in the party and they playing some quote unquote Young Buck, you know okay man, it's about to be some bullshit that going on in here.
Right.
And that's just the way of life though. So,
It is.
but that's what I mean by I'm glad that it's like that now, because now you can be able to know what's going on. You know, just like if you walk up in the party and they playing some Lil Jon, you know what's about to go on, and they like okay. You know, so yeah, it's definitely.
I even structure it
Yeah.
in order, I'm gonna have them two help me with the lineup, things like that, some other people, as far as like flow goes, but because I've always thought about DJing also. I got into a little bit, but I ain't never really like get into it, so. But this is, in a sense, me DJing, like making a playlist, shit like that. It's like, I like listening to things, from like it can either be a roller coaster or it can be up, down type shit. Moods. Putting different songs, different people and songs they make together, things like that, to make a whole, flowing experience type shit.
So, like, when it's all said and done, like, where y'all trying to have the brand go? You feel me? Like,
To the moon.
Nah, I say a lot of, some obvious comparisons. I mean, not obvious, but like Coachella, like Rolling Loud, shit like that. But so like festivals for sure, but more so innovating that, building more on that, doing things that we don't think has been done, putting certain, art mediums together that ain't been combined as far as, music and shit like that. Now it's just like, all right, music, when you got some, might have like vendors, things like that, food, things like that, but more of a sense of a show, right? Trying to put some more art into it. So more than just having people go up on stage and perform, right? So like Hamilton, right? I'm not a big play person, but I've grown to, enjoy plays, right? So like even I seen you did the thing Euphoria, but like Euphoria, right? How they got a play episode in the second season, like second to last episode type shit. I think that was dope, and I'm pretty sure that's how the original story is like in a play format. So like shit like that, but incorporating that into shows and music and back to the whole constructing thing. So
makes sense.
people will see it, but like us, the artists who will be a part of the show, getting together in one room, or a few people in a room at a time, things like that, whatever, to kind of create the vibe that we want to give out to other people type shit.
Shit. Yeah, I think it's dope. Sound like y'all doing on your own wave, just being different by design. I was gonna ask you because earlier I heard you say something about a weirdo.
Weirdo, yeah.
I always looked at the word weird. So when I started looking at trying to find anagrams and words, the word weird is wired. So I think the word weird just means that you're wired differently.
Yeah.
Because that's how I just started looking at it, because it's like everyone who doesn't do what the norm does is weird when you think about it, because it's all, everybody basically here on earth goes by the unconscious collective. Everybody's just doing everything, at the same damn time. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, for example, when somebody throw a cookout, not everybody throwing a fucking cookout. It's like the unconscious collective. It's like niggas just got that, oh, it's cookout time. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing I'm looking at it as. So is that how y'all feel? Like by design that y'all were already regular, or did you feel like you had to make yourself regular? Because me growing up, I always felt that a little bit of me is different than the average person. I mean, I hope everybody feel like they different than the average person, but some people would rather fit into society. I remember growing up, and it was in gym class, maybe this was high school, and somebody was like, damn, why's your name, not to me, but they was asking somebody that was cool, they was like, why your mom named you such and such? He was like, so I could be different? He was like, why's your name such and such? And he was like, so I could fit in with society? And right there, I knew it was two different people. You know what I'm saying? One that want to fit in, and one that want to stand out.
Literally, bro. My pops named me my two middle names. My middle name, my first one was supposed to be my first name, but my mom was like, that's too like out there, so she was cool with them being my middle names. But Dikembe and Bossy, right? My dad gave me them names because he didn't want me to have names that a white person would have.
Yeah, okay.
So instantly when he told me that shit, I was like, okay, that's cool. I fuck with it. So that energy, like that he named me with, is you right there.
Yeah. What about you?
Well,
Be some weird niggas.
Yeah. So
Weird.
Nah, I never fit in. Like I never really, like even my family, I didn't really fit in with them. Like I was always kind of like, I was quiet, but I was loud at the same time. Like once I was out, I was really out there. But when I was in, I was all the way in. Like, and people didn't really know how to would try to draw it out of me, but it's like, oh nah, I'm good, or I just feel like it. And so,
So y'all
I
just,
ain't gonna
so
lie,
y'all just
bro.
stay true to y'all own realities.
Yeah,
I'm
but
me,
look,
nigga.
well,
I'm
like-
to the core.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. At first, like, growing up and shit, like, throughout school, I'm mutable by design already. But it was hard for me to kind of be myself truly 100%. Because I'd be in friend groups and shit like that where it's like, I'm not really my true self. So I would necessarily try to fit in, but I would just be too normal type shit. So as I got older, I was like, man,
You can be yourself a little bit
yeah,
more.
and I step, you know, outside the box and shit like that. So definitely now I say I'm going myself in like weird and things like that. So
What is weird, man? Like honestly,
It's
people give like words such a connotation, and like how motherfuckers interpret that. It's
That's
just
what I'm
like,
saying.
it's
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying. You can
everybody.
break that shit all the way down to like, what is life at the end of
No
the day?
shit.
Like,
Nah, for real though. Like being weird, I feel like it's like a signature statement to like your thumbprint. You know what I mean? Because it's like ain't nobody got the same thumbprint. You feel me? Like, and we all built differently, but we all one. You feel me? Type shit.
That's
So
what-
I mean, it's like
that's what I think weird is. It's like different. It actually got a good connotation to it.
yeah.
Like I looked it up, and I
I
think
mean,
around the
society
same
gives it
time-
the negative one.
Yeah, nah, like my brother was trying to use it as me as like an insult. But I would look at it as like, nah, like I am weird, I'm different, I'm not, you know, a common person.
Like imagine
And my
somebody calling you
personality.
normal. Like that just sound like weird.
Yeah,
you normal ass nigga.
But that's what I'm saying. These words got a bigger meaning to it, you know, of course. So that's what I'm saying. In the anagrams, it means something. And I was just on Twitter the other day, and I seen, you know, I be seeing people say the English language is this, English language is that. I think the English language is what it's supposed to be. These
No,
words are like this for a reason. And if people got another language that we could use instead of this one, then they don't know what they're talking about. There's nothing wrong with this language. I even feel like the fact that damn near the way we can put these words together like this, and it's only with the English language you can do that with, is something special. So
Shit complex.
so I was gonna say, I seen someone on Twitter saying how they said like the Jesuits did it like that on purpose or whatever. Whether they did it or not, I ain't gonna lie to you, that's a brilliant ass thing
No,
to
it
do
is, though.
because it really exposed themselves. Because like I said, if you say, oh, somebody's weird, and you meet a motherfucker who you know is a weird ass nigga, and you put the words together, you're like, oh, this nigga's just wired differently than the rest of us. So at the end of the day, that's all it really is. And then on one of the podcasts, we was talking about the word angle and angel.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same
Oh,
thing.
so what I'm hearing is you like etymology. You feel me?
Yeah, basically
Okay.
the etymology of the words, like
Okay.
when you get down to the etymology
Yeah,
of
when
the
you
word.
break shit down.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of stuff don't mean what people.
Niggas think it mean.
Yeah, but like
Exactly.
you know, yeah, this out the way, but it's like I looked up the word demon, right?
Yeah.
And the etymology of that word means genius.
Yeah, that's all it means. Damon,
It's like,
demon,
bro, yeah,
light
demon,
bringer.
demon, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
a lot of
us.
stuff.
It's just
It's a lot of stuff that they like they hide.
demonized,
Play for.
perverted,
Yeah.
exploited for the.
You know, believe got the word lie in it. Like that's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you said something about perverted?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They pervert everything. You know,
Yeah.
like they pervert the symbols. They, you know what I'm saying, demonize it or whatever to make it seem what it's not, just so we can stay inside of a little box. You know.
Yeah.
Extension cord right here.
This is what happens when you're different. They don't like that shit, bro. Nobody likes that because they can't control you or they don't know how to. And they scared. They scared of a lot of us, bro. For real. People who like really open-minded to think freely and get away from this
Did
system.
you
Terrified.
did you look up the etymology to the
Oh, you
Kanye documentary, Genius, the way he spelled it? and shit like
What do you spell? I didn't watch it.
JEEN
I did it. What is it?
dash
You- Yeah, why you?
What is it?
HS.
You did?
No, I ain't looked it
Yeah.
up yet, but I just thought about this. I've been thinking about it. I just ain't do that shit yet.
Nah, I didn't. But Kanye's a funny character. I'm not gonna lie to you. I
Nah,
like
he
his
is.
character. But
Kanye is that nigga, bro. He will always be that nigga because he's not gonna fall off because he's that nigga. and like, people just are too invested in this nigga life. But I understand that this nigga got like mental
A lot of
issues and
people
shit,
just
but, like, Come on, bro. Like,
A lot of people wish
that
they could
man
be as
live.
free as him, bro.
For real.
A lot of people wish they could be as free as him, bro. You look at the shit he be doing, it's like some off the wall shit. When it's like, but you just afraid of a bunch of people's opinions and shit like that.
I mean, he don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I got my own opinions on all of industry niggas, but after I watched that Drink Champs interview, and he was talking about how he had this one shawty he was going out with, and all his homies would be at the crib, and they'll have water in the fridge, and his homies was taking the water from the bottom of the fridge instead of the top. And his girl was like, "What y'all doing? Taking the water from the top? Oh, what y'all doing? Taking this water right here. What y'all doing?" And they was like, "Shh, we know we're taking it from the bottom." Basically, he was saying like him, Jay-Z, and Virgil, they doing and did all that bullshit in the industry to be able to do what they got to do for their own life. So,
Right.
and that's what I'm like. So, you know, I researched and looked at all that conspiracy stuff and did all of that to now at the age of 22, by turning 23, to understand whatever somebody feel like they got to do, that's what they going to do. So if somebody feel like they got to sacrifice somebody or sell somebody out or do whatever to get to make their life better, that's what they going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because who am I to say, oh no, like we was talking about with the advances of someone situation might be so down bad where they have to sell their masters
People
to
got-
be able to make that music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
People got different morals.
So, but other people might not have to do none
I
of that.
can't
You
go
know what
for
I'm
that
saying?
no
So,
more.
yeah, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But so when he said that, I'm just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Clearly, and like he was telling Sway, you don't have the answer, Sway. He was basically telling Sway like, I done already got this far. I done already signed all these badass contracts. I done already did all this extra shit. I might as well finish it off and just keep doing what I gotta do, because it's like, not to say he didn't know better, but if you even look at that interview, he was going to do whatever it took to get to where he wanted to, because he'd been saying he was going to be a billionaire and all that. So whether they said, Kanye, you're going to have to kiss my feet and bite my nail off my toe, he was going to do that regardless, because that's what he'd been wanting to do. You know what I'm saying? So he's, and now that he's did all of that, that's why he's able to expose them like that and still feel that he's that one, because there's a lot of people who, you know what I'm saying, they got to where they at and they won't speak on anything that they did. He'll speak on it and tell you that, yeah, I did that, but I didn't know no better at the time. Now I know better. Like he said, he didn't know how to read that well or whatever, and people that he thought had his back let him sign those dumbass contracts and then said, you did it. And he like, I know I did it, but like, I thought y'all was going to help me, you know what I'm saying? So that's why he'll tweet, oh, everybody know Get Out was about me. Oh, this, that, and third, that, because he's in order to expose somebody, you got to expose yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that always comes. You can't expose nobody without letting your old self out to become your true self,
Right.
become a better version of you. So, and that's all I see Kanye really doing. That's why I feel like no one can, not saying no one can really fuck with him, but no matter what he do, there's always going to be still people still riding for him, like me, because I see what he doing that other people don't do, and whether or not I want to say like, oh, they making him expose those people, he's still doing it and nobody else exposing it. So, and he'll expose his own family, and even if he making himself look funny right now, you know what I'm saying, to look whatever, he's still, you know what I'm saying, taking that extra leap that not a lot of artists that people like would even dare to take that leap, you know what I'm saying, or even could possibly get to, because instead of having their own wave, they follow other people, you know what I mean? And like, seeing Kanye or listening to some of his music now, because I didn't really listen to him that much growing up, but listening to it now, I can see how he really was on his own shit and like just, you
It's
know what I
been
mean,
written,
did the
bro.
most with everything like that other people did. He just dragged it out further and just made it his own swag for real, and just, you know what I'm saying, you could tell that he really understand how the quote unquote black community mind is at and all of that, because even him, he exploited niggas. Like, he knew that, okay, niggas like Jordan so much and he do this, or if I come out with a clothing line and do this, that, and the third, niggas will follow that shit past Jordan. And that's exactly what he did. And that's why he telling niggas slavery is a choice. And he's showing you with himself that slavery is a choice. So, and I feel like he's just mocking niggas. Like, he's a mockery himself for real, if you look at it. Like, but he's joking with niggas if you look at it at the same sense. Like, with this whole Christian album and all of that, you can see how he's just like on a whole nother level with everything, and niggas is taking him too serious. and he's showing you at the same time, don't take me serious. Because how serious can you take a nigga that's arguing with a comedian like Pete Davidson? He's doing it for jokes, but at the same time showing you that he's not joking. That's why it's like.
So what type of character would he be in the story?
Yeah, he just be in character sometimes and everything. So, you know what I'm saying? I do fuck with Kanye though, because I feel like although the bullshit that be going on, he does things differently. You know what I'm saying? Than your average artist, and the type of music that he come out with is different. Like, to have the type of mind to come out with shit like that is dope. Like the 808s and Heartbreaks. Like I didn't listen to all that till I was already 22. So when I listen to it now, older, I got to listen to it from a different mind. I'm like, damn, this shit is actually dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it just showed me like how talented he is per se, because not a lot of people is that talented for real. You know, and it show you too how like some people bring you on their team when they see something that you got in them that they can benefit off of or grow with, like Jay-Z. Because if he ain't bring Kanye along, there was no other artists out here that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there were that we don't know, but how many, you know what I'm saying? Ain't many too few people that was doing what he was doing or would have took those leaps to do whatever he did to get where he at. So that's what I'm saying, like, I don't even really want to judge people for, you know what I'm saying, certain things that they doing when they make music or whatever they do to get into the entertainment industry, because at the end of the day, it's their life. So, you know what I'm saying, if somebody feel like they got to sell somebody out or stop fucking with their people to get somewhere, and then later on in life come back to help their people, you know what I'm saying, to just show their ass right now to do that, then that's what they got to do. Because, you know what I'm saying, you see too many incidents with the same shit going on, so it's like, what's really going on at the same time?
You go for me. I got something to say about that though.
Yeah, like, I've always thought that it's really weird how contradictory it is, where people with notoriety, whether it be music or anything, it's like once you do get the notoriety, you're expected to be perfect or a role model, and half the time you don't even sign up for that. Like it's almost like you can't make a mistake or be wrong. Like you're meant to be perfect, but especially when you're an artist, how are you gonna say I'm supposed to be perfect when I'm literally speaking about fragments of my life, mistakes, things I did, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you my story of how I'm not perfect. Now you're expecting me to be perfect? Like, nah.
I think it's all about how you present yourself in that imagery. You know what I mean? Because like, it's really just the image thing with all these artists out here. Like, you got a certain portrait you got to paint. That's what you're gonna be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're gonna be to the people.
Also, though, for someone like Kanye and artists that would be like the first of many type shit, they're like paving the way. You feel me? So they're going through these trials and tribulations. Essentially, how I look at it as, I don't gotta do that same shit.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, and that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like he was basically saying, because you know what I'm saying, he plans on making a city or whatever. So that's what he was getting at when he was saying like him, Virgil, and Jay-Z is I guess in bed with white Hollywood, because that's what he needs to do to be able to open that city, you know what I'm saying? And that could possibly be right, you know what I mean? So we'll just see in due time. But
how I look at it, and a few others, like I've had to talk to him about it, shit like that, is essentially how I look at people involved with Truniverse and just outside of it is like we would be those new like moguls in a sense. We're just that group of people in the industry, not being in the industry, but those people in the industry, they all know each other, bro. They all connected, same cities, different cities, shit like that. They ran into each other. They've all seen each other, been in the same studio, and times like that, cousins, brothers, whatever the case may be. So it's like, when it comes to us and shit, we are on this path of like, it's all led us to this one place, right? And we all are in motion with a certain movement, right? Yeah. So essentially, if we keep going, 2 decades, whatever the case may be, we're gonna be there to where the younger generation is gonna look at us, a certain way, and fuck with us a certain way, type shit like that. So, like, I feel like more so in Kanye's era, right, and like Eminem, and even like it was more so of that industry we know today. I don't know if it was really going on crazy back then. like Elvis, Michael Jackson, maybe, right, shit like that. It could have been happening, right?
Yeah.
But it's definitely more exposed and talked about now.
Mhm.
So they maybe could have known, but not really. Like Kanye could have known what was ahead of him, but not really because they didn't really expose the shit. Like
that's
that.
what. See, that's
So-
fact, and that's what I mean by like, you know what I'm saying. That's what they had to. That's what he's saying. Like that's what we had to do to get to where we are today, so that y'all could know what's going on. And I feel like it ain't too many artists that's like that, because these artists today, all they tell you is don't sign the RCA.
That's it.
Don't sign that. Why not? Like, you're not telling us what they doing to y'all. Like, it's much more than just reading the contract, because you can read your T-Mobile contract and be like, oh, I should have just signed with AT&T.
Mhm.
And you could just buy out of your team. You could do the same thing.
Like I was trying to ask you
Deeper.
what a 360 deal was. Like I wanted you to explain it. Like I know essentially like what it is, but explain like maybe what might be in the contract type shit. If you knew type shit of what
I think it's like
would be a 360 deal.
Oh
So-
man, niggas just tell you like don't sign a 360 deal.
They
That's
just
what you
don't.
just hear.
Yeah.
How do you know it's a 360
So, like,
deal though?
let's say,
like what words
from
and shit
what I
is
have
that?
researched on my own and shit, it's like if a label say I sign you to $1 million,
Mhm.
they're giving you $1 million, but you have to give them back that $1 million,
Right.
basically. So that's why it's 360. And if you don't
Right,
give them back
okay.
that $1 million, basically now you got a lawsuit on your ass.
Mhm.
So, and I feel like behind the scenes, what's going on is deeper than what they showing us through propaganda.
For
So
sure.
they could be definitely fucking with, because that's a lot of money. $1 million is a lot of money. So, and if they signed you for $1 million, that means initially your music, like he said before, is much way more than $1 million.
Yeah, it's
So
more
now they
money.
extorting you. Now they gonna make your image look bad. Now you beating on your girlfriend when you're not really beating on her. Now you stealing from stores when you're not really stealing. Now you know what I'm saying, doing this when you're not really doing that. Now you getting, a whole bunch of shit that's going on with you.
Or that's where you get industry plants, where they will just
Yeah.
redo your whole image and put out what they want to put out. And that's,
Yeah,
that's
true.
true.
Right,
A lot
that
of
is
people
true. That is
losing their
true.
minds and doing all type of stuff. Get like 5 years in their career, now they're a completely different person. You know, like
Yeah, that is true
That's what I was
too.
talking about.
I
That
think
shit, bro.
I think Megan, bro. Megan could be an industry plant. I ain't gonna lie
I think
to you,
they
but
all
her
are. I
image
think,
is
I think
just-
they all are planted in the industry. So like, usually when I used to think of an industry plant, I used to look at it like, oh, if they get a random person that got no ties to nothing and just get them an image. But I
Mhm.
think it's like these people like Britney Spears and all of them niggas are already born into it for real. Like they're already planted into the industry.
I know
So-
Coyle Ray for sure because her
Yeah,
pops
yeah,
is
Pops,
like
yeah,
I am
Benzino.
Benzino. So yeah, that's an industry plant. Gunna and all of them,
Yeah.
all them boys.
they came up together.
Yeah,
I don't
all
know
them
who
boys.
Megan got ties to though, but
Maybe
I know
she behind
essentially
the
she
scenes.
popped up around. Didn't she pop like right before the pandemic?
She
I don't
had
know, but the
signed-
music shit, like but I know definitely with pop culture like anime, and that was we could segue into that later.
Like she is signed with, and this is just what I had read up at one point. She is signed with a couple different labels, and she had had some bad deals before, but she was making good music,
Mhm.
and so it's like music she would put
Miss
out.
Tina Snow.
I don't know all that, but it was like music she put out would be good, and then she finally stumbled across somebody who actually actually was about what they said for once, aside from all the other stuff that she had with the labels, and she finally was able to put out songs that was like
Worthwhile.
she could get the promotion and stuff behind it that they would promise her and things like that. And then she was able to meet other people, then Savage came out, and after that it was up. So
More so. Well, who was it?
I was about to ask y'all, like, with everything that y'all know, like, how y'all trying to, like, direct yourselves when it comes to this music, and, like, if y'all were to, like, elevate to the point where you guys get these offers or whatnot, like, how would you guys navigate you guys' music career based off of the stuff that you guys know now?
Leverage. Keyword. You feel me? Honestly, that's all you need. Like, you feel me? Win over your people, man. Take over the world. You know?
And I wouldn't say, image. I ain't no saint, right? But definitely, as far as like, I look up to revolutionaries, bro. You feel me? So essentially my music, I'm kind of, that's most of the time my subject matter.
No bad word.
Yeah, you know, I might be out here, you know, talking to women, talking about shit, you know, might fuck around, whatever the case may be, but really not that much, because essentially at the same time, I want to walk what I talk, you feel me, type shit. So, and you know, it's, when it comes to drugs, shit like that, I'm not heavy in that. So essentially the image is myself, but you know, I might still mention and show a little bit of that other side, but at the end of the day, what I'm really trying to show people, it's not something I'm trying to hide, but just more so what I'm trying to show people, you know, side of myself and what I would like other people to either get from it, or I could find more people like that type shit, or encourage people to show that side of themselves and not, you know, feed into what's popular or shit like that.
So is that the legacy that you want to leave overall?
Yeah, like what I want to be remembered. I control my narrative, right? So essentially what I want to be remembered for is like, you know, I ain't gonna say, you know, right now I ain't no teacher. I just honestly just be saying what I be learning, bro. And like, you know, teachings and morals and ways of life that I, you know, consider just beneficial to how I move through life. You feel me? Things, situations, shit like that, how I handle it, get through it, things like that. It's like, that's essentially what I want to leave behind.
What about y'all? You want to go ahead?
Well, what I want to leave behind,
Yeah, like
legacy wise,
yeah.
greatness, shit, stuff that, you know, I kind of believe in reincarnation. So like, if I came back, this is my goal, right? If I died in this life, I make music that's so influential and relatable and soul touching that I come back in my next life and become my favorite fan. I mean, I become a fan of that artist.
Your
Mm-hmm.
best supporter type shit.
I get what you mean.
Or like you calling back to yourself type
Yeah,
shit.
that's
That's
what
kind
I'm
of what I thought of.
That's what
as
just
well,
like
making
some pure great stuff that helps people. It feels good. That's pretty much it. You know?
That's deep.
So I want to inspire people with my life experiences and things that I think about and go through daily, as far as what I want in life, what I'm doing, what I go through, things like that. I feel like I have a very unique story that I can tell people that people will be able to relate to, and I feel like some people need to be to hear my message. Like in my life, I didn't have anybody say like I didn't really have anybody motivate me to do anything. My family, and this is nothing against anybody in my family, but they were more geared towards like, you need to be able to get a good job so you can support yourself. Like living in a survivalist mindset, because I had a lot of people in my family who were artists and creators and athletes who didn't make it or made bad decisions. And so it was like an ongoing trend. Like right now, like I feel like I have to graduate college because I have to break generational curses now, because I have people in my family like who just didn't finish college the first try and things like that. I feel like me doing music and being creative and doing what I'm doing now and actually really truly pursuing it, I feel like I'm breaking curses with that, because a lot of people would give up. Like I have a lot of family who would just give up and just be like, nah, it's like it's over with, and just, you know, settle for the next thing. And I just refuse to do that. Like, this is what I love to do, and this is something I've wanted to do my entire life. So
And the enemy the best shit.
Well, I bet. Walking in your own path.
Shit, I got one more question for y'all. How y'all planning on like getting yourselves out there more with the tunes?
Visuals.
Visuals.
Key. Music,
Hey, yo.
the senses, bro. Or, you know, two most important things: sound and hearing.
And
You
sight.
feel me? Oh, that's the same shit. Sight and sound. my fault.
Yeah, sight and sound. Yeah.
So yeah, sight and sound, bro. You put the music with the visuals, bro. So all that is, you know, put together and can be conceived and shit like that. You feel me? So definitely visuals is important.
You got people be saying like the AirPods or the headphones ain't enough. I want to be the music
Mm-hmm.
type of shit. That's another way to captivate people. You captivate one sense. You feel me? The other ones come with.
Even when you watching movies, right, or a show, the music behind the visual that's very important.
It adds to it.
Nobody even thinks about that. Like
Yeah.
like the sounds that people make. Like the leaves crunching under their feet.
Mhm.
That adds ambiance and all that stuff. Like, it's really frequency, right? Everything has a frequency in
And
it.
it creates a whole
Makes you
energy
feel
and vibe
good.
behind it.
It's suspenseful or sad, all that stuff.
That's why. That's why I love anime, bro. Like,
Oh, they got the best music. Oh, they do. They got the best
As far
shit.
as music group though, we gonna be like Wu-Tang, Our Future, Next Level.
Let the people know where they can find y'all shit. So like Apple Music.
You can find my stuff on Spotify, all the platforms, and still putting stuff up on SoundCloud too. But you can find me on everything. OJ Neon.
You can find me at the Aaron Black, TheAA Ryan, BLACK. You feel me? Yeah, I'm on everything, bro. You feel me? Get my stuff linked through there. If not, DM me, holler at me. Come on. I'm slipping, bro. I'm not done. Come follow me in the game.
for real though. You could find the Truniverse Instagram page at _Truniverse. That's TR Universe _. And then my personal page is just sheesh.dikembe. Shoot, when it comes to music, right now I got like just my own song on SoundCloud, which is just legendary Dachi, DACHI. You might find me on some features on Apple Music also, the same name.
Alright, bad.
You guys have any final remarks that you guys want to let people know about before y'all head out?
I got
Drink water. Don't be out here looking thirsty. Stay blessed. Be great. 888 whole lot of game.
got a project dropping next month. Truniverse got a show next month. Already know what's up.
April 23rd.
April 23rd.
Yeah.
Definitely going up this year for a fact.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. You do be posting hella shows on Instagram. That's how I be keeping up. That's how I be knowing that, you know what I'm saying, that you really be doing shows. Because me, like, I actually be tuning in to like people who make music and all of that.
Mhm.
So I be seeing you post shows. That's why one of the first things I asked you was about like how do you be doing the whole shit with the shows. I be like, God damn, this nigga always doing the shows. Like, what? And I just be wondering, like, are you being booked for them or are you doing it? But since you doing the shows, I feel like that's even better too, because you really behind it all. So, you know.
Best of luck to y'all in the future. You feel me with everything. I appreciate y'all coming on the podcast.
Yes,
Thank you for having us, bro.
Whole lot of love,
Alright.
man. Oh yeah, before I knew dropping this year too, whole lot of gang, yeah. Tap in.